Hello YouTube. So in today's video, it's going to be an interesting video. We are going to be talking about something called sports betting. So I want to show you like a strategy you can use. I see, but this is not like financial advice or anything. This is just like for educational purposes only. Let me just put it as a disclaimer, and for information, like you can just go and check it out and stuff, but this is not financial advice. So let's talk about sports betting. So I see a lot of people just like bet on intuition. Okay, so today I'm going to teach you like a simple strategy that you can use to make money with the betting companies. Okay, so this one we're going to be, let me show you first for football. I can show you for other sports, but we need like I can do it for you, but we can do it later. Maybe I can, there will be a group where there's a link in the description for a Telegram group. You can join, then we can talk there, and you can ask me like in the group, and you can discuss it overall and brainstorm it. So what I want you like to, I'm going to show you how to logically go about it. That's why the chat GPT is here to help us with the logic. Another one, we are going to be using probabilities and risk manipulation techniques. Now let's start. So what you're going to be doing, we want to be first off, don't use this system on virtual games and also like casino games. You're going to lose money because those ones are manipulated by the companies. So having to be able like to have genuine results, or having the lack of interference by the company is quite like high. So we want to be betting on real games that usually are played. And also like we are going to look at how also like to let me say, how will I say it, like we are going like, yeah, we're going to be betting on the like real games. Okay, and how to go about it. So I want you to be like focusing on the top 5 leagues that are not like involved in match fixing, like the Vietnams and the Thailand. I'm not saying they do match fixing, but I'm just saying like avoid leagues that have cases on. I saw another documentary on YouTube. They're talking about match fixing in those like leagues, but I'm not saying they do match fix. I'm just saying assumptively. But yeah, so stay away from those leagues, or leagues that are not like major leagues. The big leagues. Just focus on that. So I want to show you how we are going to go about it. So we are going to be gambling on we are going to be not gambling but staking on the over 2.5. Okay, not over 2.5, but both teams to score. So logically, let's first look at the probabilities. I know it might sound complex and stuff, but just bear with me. And you can test it out later and see like, not test it out with like live money, but you can go and check like past results, how you could have staked and how you could have gone about it. So let's go about this. So I have here, it's like the probability of both teams to score, okay, against the probability of not both teams to score. So we are going to be gambling on the only both teams to score. And let me tell you why. Now watch this. Okay, so the probability of both teams to score and not both teams to score. So first, there are various factors that affect it, but the general probability for both teams to score usually 50 to 60% of all matches. So you can see here an example, like the English Premier League, the EPL, it's 52 to 53 to 55%. So you see there's a difference between the 50 and the 55. So there's like a 5% edge. I don't mind the technical jargon, but I'm just saying also the odds for both teams to score and both teams not to score usually high compared to over and under. So we are going to be betting on GG. Watch till the end so that you can understand what I'm trying to explain here. There's a logical aspect of it. So you have seen the percentage is usually like 50%. Okay, so what we are going to be doing, the odds are usually from 1.5 to 2. Okay, to 2 to 2.5. So what you're going to be doing, you're going to be taking one team, like you're going to be taking like Chelsea. I'm a Chelsea fan, so take like Chelsea, then you're going to stake the whole season, every game of Chelsea, despite it being the Premier League, FA Cup, or whatever. Every game of Chelsea you're going to be betting both teams to score. I hope that is clear. So that is the first aspect of it. So every time Chelsea plays, you're going to like bet like both teams to score. You don't analyze, don't look at anything, just place blindly, like place GG. GG. Now you might be asking, but what if it loses? Now I'm going to go into that. That's where the risk like manipulation comes into place. So you're going to be betting like both teams to score in all the matches. Like every game, you don't even analyze if it's playing against Liverpool or maybe Everton, or even a team that is getting relegated or a championship team. Okay, just place both teams to score. So now to the second aspect. Now let's go to something called probability. What you are betting on is that the maximum number of consecutive losses you are going to face before we lose. So that's where I bring the second part of this. Okay, so to the second part, let me open my chart. Okay, I think my chart is ready. Now we have seen the probabilities of both teams to score usually at 50% and above. Now I want to go with statistically from what I have tested out, the maximum games that our team has ever gone like GG without like no goal. It's usually like less than what? It's 9 maximum. I've seen it's 8, so the ninth one won. But now we are going to go with mathematically backed system. So what you're going to do now here, this is another part that is critical. I know this might sound like very foreign, but rewatch this video a couple of times, you'll see what I'm talking about. So like 50%, the maximum number of consecutive losses you can go, you can see it's going by percentages. It's based on percentages. So you see, having 2 losses, like 2 games Chelsea to keep a clean sheet, so we are betting on like Chelsea to, like, this is just an example, you can use any team in the top, in the big leagues. Okay, so you are betting on like Chelsea to keep like a clean sheet. Okay, so the chances of Chelsea keeping 2 clean sheets is 100%. You see, 5 clean sheets, it's 97%. Okay, now you can see the up to 11 is 0.6, and the 12, I think it's less than 0. I think it's 0%, like here where you can see 0%, 0. So for 12, I think it's 0%. Yeah, from what I've tested. But for us, it's at 55. Since you have seen that it's between 50 to 55, the chances of a team going like both teams to score, the chances or the outcome, 55% of the matches in the league usually like finish 55%. I know it's crude and there are some holes in the system, but because you are saying I checked for the league, not for an individual team, but I'm saying for an individual team it's better because you are not betting on all games. So you are betting on a single team, like from the first game to the last game. Now there's something now you're going to introduce now after this. It's called the martingale strategy. So that is a risk manipulation strategy. Okay, so it's a technique where you, like, once you lose, you're going to increase your stake. I hope that is clear. So you might be wondering, martingale works on like doubling, but this one we are staking like a node of 1.5, 1.7. I know that is like the question. So here what you're going to be doing, if you started staking with $1, you're going to take $1 plus the profit, which was half a dollar, because the odd you're assuming the minimum is usually 1.5 for both teams to score. When I say GG, I mean both teams to score. Okay, so goal, that's what I mean by both teams to score, goal and goal, a home goal, away goal. So it's usually above 1.5. That is something that I should make clear from the get-go. So it's usually between 1.5. Now you're going to be taking the results, the $1 that you started with there, then you add the profit, which is 1.5. Okay, then you divide by 0.5. Okay, I hope that is clear. So that will be your like next stake. So let me open my calculator and like give a brief a further example of what I'm doing. So you're going to be taking $1. I know it's all over the place, but just trust me, once you test it out and see what I'm talking some sense here. So if you have any questions, just go to the group. It's the link is in the first link in the description box. Then you can be able to like have a conversation with me inside the group, and you can also like have another community. I want to be like a community of people who like use this system. So you can see the next stake will stake with $3. Now once we win on the next game, we are going to get our initial loss plus the profit we were to make. I hope that is clear. Now you're asking, what about if this one also loses? So this will be the third, like, this will be the second consecutive loss, which you have seen. It's 100 chance of a team keeping like, there's 100% chance of a team keeping like two consecutive clean sheets. Now what you're going to do, you're going to take 3 plus the 1.5, then you divide by 0.5. you get 9. So I hope we are clear on what I'm doing here. So every time like you lose, you go. So you'll do this until you get the maximum of 12. So that is the 12. And from my calculations, I've seen the highest it has ever gone is 8. On the 9th game, it usually like wins and you recover all the losses you have made. So you're going to be bleeding until you win. But I think this is a better way compared to just like randomly like placing bets. I think I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say here. So the maximum I've seen, it's Manchester United in the, I think it's the season they won the treble. They went like in the league they went 13, but when you add like the league games, the EFLs, the EFA Cups, the Champions League games, it was 9. Okay, it was 8, sorry. On the 9th game they recovered. There's no other one I've seen. So that's why I'm saying you have to bet every game of that team, even if it's until you win back your money. Okay, then you can take now a break from betting on that team, or maybe just start again on the next game after winning. So I hope that is clear. So you can do the risk method that I've showed you. Like now if it's 9, you're going to do 9 plus, okay, let me 9 plus 4.5, okay, divided by 0.5. Now the good thing about this thing is that the odds for, and I know you are wondering the why 0.5. 0.5 is because that's the profit we are going to make if the odds is 1.5, because the one in the 1.5, it's usually the stake, the number after the zero, after the decimal, is usually the profit. Okay, now the great thing about this, you'll find that you have placed maybe with 27, but you find the odd on this game it's 2. So instead of, you have now even made more profit. I hope it's clear. I hope I'm able to like paint a clear picture. So you'll find ourselves making more profit after the recovery. So this is the great part, because we are using 0.5 as our baseline. We are assuming that all games for that team, on both teams to score, will be a minimum will be 1.5. So there are games you'll find the odds are at 2. There are games you'll find the odd at, even 1.5, but we know that at the end of the day we are going to be like make money. So that is what I'm trying to like explain in this video. I hope it's clear. If you have any question, join the group. I'll be dropping more video explaining my strategy and my system in the coming videos. So if you're new to the channel, ensure you hit that subscribe button. But I hope it's clear. Okay, so the risk manipulation, it's the martingale or the deambalat. I don't have a name for it because this is not martingale, it's some form of idea that I came up with. So I think I'll name it after myself. So I think this is the Colo technique. Anyway, I'm joking, but yeah, so this is a method. If you're into gambling, instead of like staking mindlessly and just like having like no chance of making your money, at least you use this one, you have a better chance. Okay, so that is something you need to know. So you can use several. I'll drop more videos on how like we can manipulate this further, because now I've said that the highest it has ever gone is 8. So on the 9th, you see there's a 1% chance of having more than 9. Okay, so I'll show you how you can maybe use 9 as your baseline, as the maximum like rounds, but you are able like to make your money in case if it goes 9. What are you going to do? Okay, so those are some of the things I wanted to talk about. So the great thing about this one is you just don't have like to stake on just one team. You can be following Chelsea, Man United. You can follow even all the leagues, all the games, all the teams in the leagues. Okay, then go on like staking on them until you find like a winner. But yeah, but there is a time it might go to 12. It has never happened yet, but history keeps changing and history is not permanent. There might be a new team that might break it, but you see the probability. What we're working here is we're betting on the probability. We are like an intelligent like gambler. We are like moving like the house. You are dealing with probabilities. We are betting that in these games there are chances of, and even if we go like to testing, let's go even to testing. Let's do like Liverpool this season. If you have any question, just join the group. You can have a conversation with me and I can explain to you further on what I'm doing. Let's do Arsenal. I think Arsenal is playing today, so let's go Arsenal. Now let's say you started betting on Arsenal. this league. Like this is your, you said Arsenal is the team you're going to make money with this season. So I want like we build a community around this strategy and system so that we can be able to share, like, you know, we can add more value into the strategy. You know, somebody can find something better, we can implement into it so that we can make money more smoothly and something with that, like that. The good thing about this is the startup cost of this is quite low, and the payout, like potential of the upside, is quite high. So that's the great thing about this. But don't, this is, should not be like financial advice, only like stake and use money that you're comfortable with losing. You know, gambling is just like a luxury. This is not, should not be like your work in any way. So don't like go playing around with it or something. Just like don't take it that seriously, you know, like it's just gambling. So let me click on previous. You see the past results of Arsenal. Now I don't hope to go back, but let's start where our last one, where did they go? Here. So let's start here, moving forward. So you see on the 18th of this year, 18th of January, you can see this one won. Okay, and the great thing about this one, let's see the odds of both teams to score was how many. Okay, let me close this. So if we scroll to the end, if we come here to odds, we can see both teams to score had a odd of 1.8. So you see it's quite high, and as we did with the baseline of 1.5. So you see it's 1.8. Now let's go. Now you start here, you start with $1, you lose $1, you go $3, you lose here, you go $9. You see, that's why I'm telling you to bet on all games of that team. Don't go like the league only, and that's the problem. So if you are doing this, you need to be disciplined. And if you are maybe in a place where you cannot like you know, stake your games, you can maybe find somebody else who is in a better place too. Maybe you have traveled or something, but I don't find a scenario where that can happen. But you need to stake on all games. And the great thing about this strategy is the different, like the parting, like the, you know, the distance between the games, like it's not consecutive, so you have time like to bet on the next team. So this one was on the 25th. You can see the next game was in the 29th, this one for Girona. Now let's look at the odds. You see the odds almost at 2. Here you almost like doubled your money. Okay, so you almost like made another $9, and you're expecting just to make like just 4.5 to recover there and the profit, but you increase the profit by a very huge margin. So this is something you should like check it out. You start here again $1, you win. This one you start again here $1, you lose $1, you lose. But on the Champions League game, it happened. Let's look at the odds here. Now here it's more than 9. I think it's here it will be 27 or something. I will have the full like blueprint on the 1.5 till 12 on the like the group. I'll post it in the group because I can't talk. I'll do that here. It's going to consume a lot of time. So look at this. Look at the odd. Look at the odd. I'm telling you, the upside is so high, the downside is so low. Like you have started with 1.5, but here now you have almost like doubled the $27, or I don't know how many it is, but that's what I'm saying. But yeah, it's quite a great like strategy which is backed on logic, not just betting on emotionally. So with this side, if you're interested in joining the community as we develop this more and build something out of this and try to like move like the house, you know, betting with an edge, I think you should join the group. The first link in the description, it's free. I'm not charging you anything. Let's like build on this, guys. So yeah, so that's all for this video. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments section, and if I won't see it, just join the group also. I don't know, it's like I'm promoting this group, but it's not that much of a big of a deal. Yeah, join the group or ask in the comment section. I'll happily like help you. And also if you have some ideas we can implement on this, because I'm trying to develop also for like the overs, but for the overs I'm not so certain about it, because you can see the chances here, the probabilities of the over, it's 48 to, so at times you might find a league that is less than 50%. So that is something like the French league. So you see this one is more advantageous to like betting on, like you can go on the French league, search for like Paris Saint-Germain or maybe a team inside there. You just go betting on the unders only, of which you're going to, there are times you're going to be lucky, you find a team with a odd of 2 instead of the 1.5, and you even the overs and the unders. That's the great thing about it. So we are working on probabilities. So if you want to be part of this madness that you are practicing, just come and let's talk, let's brainstorm on more ideas, and yeah, let's move forward. So that's all for this video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'll be dropping more videos on this, and that's all.